Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm looking, I was gonna say a little bit different, but like a little bit doesn't even explain it. I do not feel like myself right now and I'm kind of loving it. I woke up today and I just wanted to do something creative. I wanted to be creative, and for so long now, I've actually been following the Instagram account Milk1422. I think that's what it's called. And they post the most incredible face charts. I've followed them for years now. And I literally remember saying to Casey about, this would have to be like close to 12 months ago now, that I really want to start a series on my channel where I recreate some of the Milk1422 face charts. So today when I woke up feeling super creative and just wanting to sit down and have some fun with makeup, I went onto that Instagram page and found a reference photo for this look right here. And I will leave a screenshot right here so that you guys know what I'm talking about. But as soon as I saw this photo, I was just like, I don't know, I was taken away by it. It's so beautiful, but so different for me. I really wanted to do something that was out of my comfort zone. I wanted to push myself and yeah, just step outside of my comfort zone, and I felt like the dark lip was so not me at all, which is obviously why I chose it, but also the eyes as well. Like they're very vampy, obviously like bright colors, a bit of smoky blacks in there, a bit of graphic liner, and then of course I paired that with some lilac hair, which I got inspo from the makeup artist that had recreated the face chart already, which is in that screenshot. So I'll leave all of that listed down below, but I got a lot of inspiration from that screenshot and from the Milk1422 Instagram page. So yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed sitting down and filming this today. I just chucked like a Christmas movie on and sat there and just experimented with makeup and had so much fun with it. And then at the end I also showed you guys how I put this color in my hair. This is just a one-day washout color from Colorista. It's a new product of theirs. So you guys know I've worked with Colorista for a few months now. I absolutely love them. I went to Splendor with them. It's like a long-term collaboration, and this video is again sponsored by them. So thank you so much to Colorista, because you've honestly you've given me a bit of a creative outlet here. Like I wanted to obviously work with a hair color today, but I wanted to make it interesting for you guys, and I wanted it to be a whole experience, like a whole look, not just the hair. And that's why I thought I'd step outside of my comfort zone and do this. So yeah, if you want to see how I got all of this, did all of this, put all of this together, then just keep watching. So I'm starting off with Precisely My Brow from Benefit Cosmetics, and I'm going to kind of define the underneath section of my brow quite prominently. In the reference photo, you can see that she's pretty much got like a very, very defined brow at the bottom, and then it's kind of more natural towards the front and the top. So I'm defining my tail, but then kind of fading it into the front of the brow to keep it a bit more bushy and natural. Then just switching to Cabrow by Benefit Cosmetics, and I'm using this to add a bit more definition to the tail of my brow. My hair is really, really sparse on the tail. Even though I have my brows microbladed, it still shows up a little bit lighter sometimes. So I like to go in with Cabrow to add that definition and just make it a little bit more like darker and defined. And then just switching to my MAC Brow Set Gel. This is a really, really cool product because it kind of highlights your brow hairs and makes them look a lot bushier. So you can see I'm brushing in an upward motion towards the front of my brow just to really create that bushy effect. Next up, I'm dipping into my Sigma Creme de Couture palette. This is a really, really cool palette. It's got some really pretty pastel colors in it. I'm taking the shade Blueberry Cream and I'm running that through my transition. I am going to bring this shade right up to my brow bone as well, because in the reference photo, she's got it smoked out quite a lot. And just with the shape of my eyes, I really want to make sure that you do see the blue when my eyes are open. So I am going to blend it quite far up and just keep building it up to get the most pigment out of this color. Next up, I'm switching to my Morphe 35U palette, and I'm taking this light blue kind of teal color. It's not really showing up that well on camera, but it is a much more kind of vibrant blue than what I used from the Sigma palette, and I'm just building that up in the crease. I really wanted that blue to pop like it does in the face chart, so I just kind of experimented with a few different blues and built them up until I was happy with how it looked. Now taking my Shape Tape from Tarte Cosmetics, and essentially what I'm going to do is cut the crease. I want to use a really vibrant purple, and I just figured that if I cut the crease with a really, really heavy concealer, it would make the purple pop for starters, but I also wanted to create that really defined line across the crease, because in the face chart you can see she does a little bit of black graphic liner, I think. Well, that's how I've interpreted it anyway. So yeah, I wanted to cut the crease just to get like the best kind of result from this entire eye look. And now I'm just going in with like a normal setting powder just to set that concealer in place before I go in with the purple over the top. Now going back into my Morphe 35U palette, I'm taking the darker purple out of the two and spraying my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus to get the best result that I can. Honestly, I didn't find that Fix Plus made that much of a difference. I ended up switching my brush to more of a detail brush so that I could pack the color on there and then just be a bit more specific with where I was applying it. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of taking this slow because I wanted to build up this purple and try and make it as vibrant as possible. And I bring it about 2/3 of the way across the lid. Now switching to my Makeup Geek Z palette, I'm taking the Makeup Geek single eyeshadow in the shade Corrupt. This is probably like the best black that I've ever owned, so that's why I went into the Makeup Geek Z palette. I know I'm switching palettes a lot, I'm so sorry, but I don't know, just for a creative look like this, I didn't want to restrict myself to one palette. So as you can see, I am packing that black on the outer corner. Again, I'm using a detail brush just so that I can keep the black exactly where I want it, because obviously black can be a bit messy to work with sometimes, and I didn't want it to cover any of the blue because I wanted to keep that blue really, really vibrant. So I ended up going back in and blending out the edges once I'd packed the black on to exactly where I wanted it. Next up, I'm just taking this black liquid liner and I'm using that to cut the crease. Obviously, I have to be really careful with this because I don't want it to smudge before it dries. So as you can see, I'm taking it pretty slow and trying to be as precise as possible, but this is going to add a huge amount of definition to the crease. Next up, I'm taking this Sigma Longwear eyeliner. This is just a normal black eyeliner and I'm lining my upper and lower waterline with this. My eyes are actually super sensitive, so I really don't enjoy this step, but it does make a really big difference to your makeup. I think I left a clip in here somewhere with my facial expressions after I finished doing it. I just do not enjoy it at all. Now just going back into Corrupt by Makeup Geek, and I'm using that to smoke out the lower lash line. I think I end up taking this about 2/3 of the way in because next up we're going to go in with a little bit of color on the lower lash line as well. Now I'm just going back into that purple shade from the Morphe 35U palette and just packing that onto the kind of like the last third of my lower lash line, and then I go in with the Stila Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Freedom, and I use that on my inner corner, like kind of like the lower of my inner corner. I don't really know how to explain this section of my eye, but I pack that on to add a little bit of a pop of blue. It wasn't as much as I was hoping, so I then layered the blue from the Morphe 35U palette on top of that just to add a lot more vibrancy. Now I'm switching to the Urban Decay Electric palette and I'm taking the silver shade called Revolt and I'm just placing that on my inner corner. Honestly, you could probably use any silver shade. I don't know why I switched to the electric palette. I had it out in case I needed it for this video and it was just the closest shade that I found. And then again, this part is really messy, guys. I'm so sorry. I ended up switching to the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette and I took the shade Brixton, which is like a white and blue holographic shade, and I just ran that along my brow bone. Now I'm just coating my top and lower lashes in the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. You can honestly use any mascara that you want. And then I went in with the House of Lashes Femme Fatale false lashes. I tried to match these to the face chart as best as possible. I wanted something that was really full on the outer corner, kind of creating a bit of a cat eye effect. And I was really happy with how these ended up looking. I think the style of lash was perfect for this look. Now moving on to the base, I'm taking my NARS Laguna bronzer and I'm going to pack this on really, really heavy because in the face chart her cheekbones are really defined, so I wanted to mimic that same kind of effect. So I went pretty hard with the bronzer. I think I even went in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Yep, I went in with that next and even layered some of those shades on top. I really wanted the most out of this because I feel like the kind of definition in her cheekbones made this look really striking and I wanted to mimic that really, really well. I also ended up going in with the banana shade from that palette and I used that to clean up underneath the contour just so that it was a really big contrast between kind of like my jawline and my cheekbones, just to get the most out of that really, really defined cheekbone look. I ended up going back into my NARS Laguna bronzer now just to contour my nose because I realized I forgot that before, and in the face chart you can see that her nose is quite defined, like she's got quite a lot of contour on there. So again, I just tried to mimic that as closely as possible. Now I'm dipping into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerriero highlighting palette, and I'm taking a mixture of the shades Forever Lit and Glo Getter, and I'm really packing this onto my cheekbones. Again, in the face chart reference, you can see a lot of glow on the front of her cheeks. So again, I just tried to recreate that as closely as possible. I ended up not loving the shade of the highlight. I wish it was a little bit more of like a champagne-y gold color, but that's okay. We worked with it. We ended up putting some glitter freckles on top, and I feel like it ended up looking okay anyway, so I wasn't too bothered at all. Now moving on to lips, I lined my lips with the Kat Von D lip liner in the shade Skully. This is just a true black lip liner. I filled my lips in as well because in the reference photo, they look black, but they also look like they've got slightly like a bluey, purpley tinge to them. So you'll see in a second, I end up going in with the Fenty Mademoiselle lipstick in the shade Clapback over the top, which is like a navy blue. And that kind of created the same effect as what I interpreted the face chart to have. I then just went in with a clear lip gloss over the top to add the same glossy effect as what I could see in the picture. I think this was the closest one available. It's just the Charlotte Tilbury one, so I ended up putting it on the back of my hand and applying it with my finger so that I didn't get the wand all black. But yeah, just any old gloss will do. And then I took this Too Faced liquid eyeliner in, it's like a brown shade, I'm not too sure of the name, I'll have it listed down below, but I used this to create the faux freckles. I wasn't in love with how this looked. I definitely would do it differently next time, but honestly, it did the job. The only thing I didn't like is how artificial they looked, so I ended up going in with my beauty blender that I used earlier to blend my foundation, and I just patted that over the top, and it made them look a lot more subtle and a lot more natural, so it was fine. It worked out in the end. I then took a gold glitter, which I ended up spilling everywhere. I put that clip on my Instagram and you guys asked me to keep it in the video, so there you go. But yeah, I took this gold glitter and just laid it on top of the faux freckles. I just, again, completely copying the face chart. I felt like they had a bit of gold glitter on there, so I did gold glitter. I also realized I forgot to do the freckles on my forehead, so I just went back in with that Too Faced liquid eyeliner and did the same thing as what I did on my cheeks. I also went back in with the Beauty Blender and made them a little bit more subtle. They look a bit crazy right here, but you can see the Beauty Blender just makes such a difference. Okay, so I think for my hair, I want to do something really, really different because obviously this makeup look is so out there. I want to kind of match it. So I'm going to start by just putting my hair into pigtails. It's still kind of curled from yesterday, but that's okay. I'm gonna end up doing some braids, so it's not gonna matter anyway. And I'm gonna leave these front sections out. I'm so excited to play with color. I literally feel like a completely new human being when I put a different color in my hair. Well, especially with this makeup as well. I mean, I don't really look like Erin right now. So for my hair today, I'm going to be using the new Colorista One Day Hair Makeup Colors. This is the lilac hair. You guys know I've always done the pink ones, but today I wanted to do something different, hence like the purple on the eyelids. I even got my nails done purple today because I was like, I'm going to go with a real purple theme. So we're going with purple, we're switching it up, and I'm actually really excited to try this out. This is new to the Colorista range, so it's been designed with a gel formula, so different to the Colorista One Day Hair color sprays. They obviously come out of like an aerosol can type thing, so they can be a little bit drier on your hair, whereas this has the gel formula, so it's a bit more wet and hydrating. It doesn't transfer though, so it does dry in your hair after about 10 to 20 minutes, but when you first apply it, it is that gel formula, so it's a little bit easier to work into the hair, and you've got a bit more control as well where you're applying it, whereas with the spray, it's just literally a spray, and you just kind of have to hope for the best. So I'm excited to try this out because I feel like I'm going to be able to create something really, really cool. I think what I'm going to do first is actually braid, and then I'll work the color in after I've braided, because I also want to use the new Colorista Braid Braid Milk, and I think if I use this after I do the color will kind of like, I don't know, water down, maybe disappear a little bit. So I'm gonna use the Braid Milk first. So I'm just gonna pump some of that Braid Milk out onto my hand and then just kind of like smooth it through the hair. And what this is gonna do is add some texture. So you know how like some braids can be those really tight, like, I don't know, really tight, neat braids? I don't want that. I want like nice texturized, lots of volume in my braids, and I want them to kind of hold and stick together well. So that's why I'm gonna use this Braid Milk first. Oh my God, it smells good too. You can already see like how much texture that's added to my hair. And I'm just going to braid this section now, and then we can ruffle the braid up a bit and make it a little bit messier once the elastic is on. All right, so that is like too neat for me at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is just pull it out and really mess it up. Just like that. And then obviously repeat on the other side. All right, so now it's time to play with some color. Like I said before, this is the lilac color. So what I'm gonna do is squeeze a little bit onto my hands, and I'm just kind of mixing it around on my fingertips. And then what I'm gonna do is work it into the strands of hair. So this does take about, I think I mentioned this before, it does take about 10 to 20 minutes to dry. So you kind of just like work it into your hair to start off with, and then once it's dried, you can go back and kind of restyle it to however you would like it. So at the end, I'll probably go back and just curl those little front sections just so that they sit around my face a little bit nicer. My camera battery died then, so I'm not sure how much you've seen, but I'm just brushing that color through to make sure that it is really getting all of the strands. Oh my God, that looks so cool. I might have to redo these plaits actually once it dries. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I've learned from that one, I'm gonna take this one out and put the color in before I plait it. That's what I should have done. You live and you learn. Don't make the same mistake as me. So basically I'm just trying to apply as much of the color as possible. Obviously I'm kind of applying it everywhere, and then again just brushing it through. This is gonna look so good. I'm so excited to get photos. I feel like when I upload this photo onto my Instagram, people are gonna be like, what the hell? That's not Erin. It looks so cool. So see what I mean? Once it dries, you brush it out, and then your hair, like you can literally just style that however you want now. So as it's drying, obviously it gets a little bit stiff, but then you just keep brushing it out as you go. The color stays in, and then your hair just kind of goes back to a, I don't know, a state where you can style it, like it feels normal again. I actually really like how this lilac looks with my darker roots. Like I feel like it blends in really, really well. All right, so what I'm gonna do is leave that to dry for the next 10-20 minutes. I'm gonna jump off camera and come back once it is all dry, and then we'll finish off the braid and finish off the look. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I literally feel like a badass, like gothic version of Harley Quinn. I'm kind of digging it. I don't feel like myself right now, and I love that. Like I love that you can do this with like your hair and makeup, just something as simple as switching that up. You just, I don't know, you feel like a different person. It's so cool. Anyways, I am going to braid my hair now. Oh my God, that looks so good braided. I'm also thinking about doing something really cool for New Year's with some hair color. So if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions on like what hair color I should use or what I should do for New Year's, definitely let me know in the comments down below. This would have been perfect for Halloween. I don't really celebrate Halloween. Like I don't really go out and like dress up or do anything, but if I did, this would have been so cool. Like imagine this in like a witch's costume, like this whole makeup look with a witch's costume. I feel like that would look so good. And like the hair is so easy to do as well, but I feel like it would like literally make the costume 10 times better. I hope you guys don't mind videos like this where I just like kind of being a bit creative and weird and like, I don't know. I woke up this morning in a really weird creative mood and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna sit down and film something really different. Really different for me. Get out of my comfort zone, do something fun. And this is what I've done. This is what I've ended up with. So I guess that is the finished look, if you will. I don't even know what to call this. I don't know, I feel like this could be a new superhero. Like she could be a new badass superhero. I just don't know what her name would be. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the video. Like I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed something a little bit different. Just me sitting down and letting like my creative juices flow. I've actually had a lot of fun filming this today, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed filming it. All of the details for the makeup look, the link to the Milk 1422 face chart, as well as all of the details for the hair color will all be left down below in the description box. So if you're interested in any of that or want to know a little bit more, all of the information will be down there. The Colorista hair makeup is available from Priceline and Chemist Warehouse. So if you've got something fun coming up or if you just want to try a hair color for a day with no commitments at all, definitely head into your local Priceline or Chemist Warehouse because they stock all of the colors and all of the products. I'll also leave my last Colorista video down below where I used the pink washout. That one washes out in about 2 to 3 washes and I'm obsessed with it. I used it for Splendor in the Grass as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.